when there's nothing to go back to. I've been thinking about the hurricane and the aftermath, the debris that's all over the place, floating in the waters. It's packed. And I saw a comment. Someone commented on the comment section, said the water was getting ready to flood our apartment, and me and my son made it out with barely anything. And I don't know where they went, but that's just one instance. And you can look around and you can see from the widespread destruction that it is much worse. Hello, Frank Honey. Much worse than what they're letting on. They're not going to tell you the depth of the destruction, the number of the people who may be missing, who are missing. And I'm sure people saw things that they didn't want to see. And maybe they've been told to be hush hush. Hello there in Georgia. Hello, RD. Hello. Stormy, Kimberly, Glenn. They're messing with us. They are. Glenn, they are. They truly are. And I can see where a person would get so sick. And it's like at the point they don't care. Whoever or whatever, or a combination that is doing this, it's not good. It isn't. Because who can find joy in destroying the lives of others and wreaking havoc? There are some sick people in the world, sick minds, and yeah, there are some people. There's nothing to go back to. There isn't at all. And if you have children and you was barely able to make ends meet, and you had like no bug out bag, nothing on hand, you had to grab what you could find, what you could gather, and get on the road and just start driving as far away as you can. I'm sure it's very traumatic, and it leaves a great question mark concerning your future. What now? Where do I go now? What will happen now? And if you think of that, it's the devil, the demons. Yeah, the demons. If you think of that, that's what happens in war zones. When countries go to war, it's the people. It's the people who suffer. It's the people who are displaced. It's not the ones, the rulers. It's not them. They're not displaced. They're safe away in their hideaways, their underground bunkers and stuff like that. But it's the people who pay the price. And it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. And I can't help but think that this is like something about using weather as a weapon. And I used to watch HARP all the time. Years ago, I would keep track of the magnetometer, the induction magnetometer that came from HARP. And I'd watch those lines, I'd watch them white out, and I would correlate them with the earthquake readings too, because it would line up, and then it would be like 2.5 days later, and or with the next rad stations. Also, they all worked in conjunction. 2.5 days later, you could tell what areas were going to get blasted with storms, because that area was spiked. It was spiked with these frequencies coming from the next rads. Hello, Applebrooks, honey. So I used to watch that all the time. And I've got the book, Angels Don't Play This Harp. I got it years and years ago. It's time of great change. It really is. Hey, Al, honey. The silicone, lithium, and the quartz are located in this region, and they want to make it uninhabitable for humans so they can dig and drill, baby, drill. I said that. It came out of my mouth. Drill, baby, drill. But that's supposed to be for oil and not reports and stuff like that. But it's very hard on people when you are displaced, and no one knows what you're going through, what you're experiencing, all the emotions and stuff, because everybody experiences things in different ways that may not be the exact same way someone else. They may react in a totally different way. It may have a profound impact on them. It may bring up something from their past, some other type of trauma to the surface and stuff. And it's hard. It's hard because there's now you got a big question mark in your future. Now what? Where do I go from here? And how can you bring words to people in a time like that? Um, how can you find the words to say? I mean, you can say, "Oh, it's going to be all right." Well, that's not really going to help that much. It really isn't. It's going to be all right, but it's going to take more than "it's going to be all right" from a person. You've got to literally let them know with your words, let them know with your actions. Just, just speak to them. Just speak to them, you all. And it is somehow, some way, it's going to be all right for a lot of people. And will it be difficult? Absolutely, because you're going to find yourself in very uncomfortable positions. You may find yourself in a shelter where there's lots of other people, and you may have to sleep in that shelter with lots of other people. And some people may be loud. Some people may be so stressed out, and it may add to your stress. Some people may be crying and stuff, and babies crying. All um, hold on one moment. Are you there? Can y'all see me? When there's nothing to go back to, can you hear me? Oh, it's buffering. Okay, am I coming in clear? Yeah, it's I really when I'm thinking about that, I'm feeling like it's like a war torn zone. And if you're in those shelters like that and you have small children and they don't know what's going on, and they're fearful too. They don't know what's going to happen to them. Um they really don't, and you've got to be there for them. And I hope that the experts, there's been a lot of hiring by FEMA lately, a whole lot of openings. I took my shoe off, but my foot's getting cold. There's been a lot of openings. No sound? Can you all hear? Can you all hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, okay. It's good. There's forgot what I was saying. You have sound? Oh, okay, that's good. There's there's been a lot of openings with FEMA. And when I was downstairs in the other part of the basement, let me see right here. I remember this book that I had picked up, and this was back when my husband got out of the military. You can see the timestamp. I went to a FEMA thing. I did back in 2004. Are you ready? And you know what they were doing? They had open classes for the people to come, and they were talking about the bird flu. They were, but they had these booklets, and I don't know if FEMA even has these. Al, honey, let me get on with this, okay? Yeah, they do help people. There are people who do get help from FEMA. Maybe not everybody gets all the help they need, but they do get help. And I wanted to just talk about this right here. And I've read how, they're only getting 750 a person. Well, it's like $725, 200, a group of 200 people in California for their children are going to get $725 a month is what they're going to get. But a lot of people are left out. But the 750, and it's like, it's all part of it. It truly is all part of it. The people that will help you will come to you, yeah. And it's okay. The FEMA has helped a lot of people, and they have not helped a lot of people. My point was they are supposed to be prepared. They truly are. And they do have a way of getting supplies, but it seems to be at this moment in time, my nose is tickling. There's not no money. They're going to run out of money for the people. And you may say, well, if they didn't give all their money away, they'd have money. That's true. They would have money. But I don't know if the continuing resolution that they passed included any money for FEMA, or did they just give it away anyhow? Yeah. Yeah, you've got to. Last night was a good stream. Thank you, Pamela. That was in the wee hours of the morning. It was. And I was going to say, this book right here that I had got back in 2004 is this exactly when my husband got out of the military. And I kept it. I kept it all these years is what I kept it. Is what I did. They got the emergency planning checklist. I don't know if they have this. My point was, I don't know if they have something like this now that they give out. They should send stuff like this in the mail, a complete book that tells you what to do during all these things. Let me see page 65 in a hurricane. I just want to see. I truly do. Thunderstorms and lightning. They've got everything on here. I'm going to see what it says. Now my feet are getting hot, y'all. You're making me hot. Al, honey, you got me all hot. That's right. Now I got to take my socks off, Al, honey. Oh, my goodness gracious. You got me hot. Now look at this map. Right here. The hurricane direct hits on the continental United States. Look at this. Between 1970 and 1999, more people lost their lives from freshwater inland flooding associated with landfalling tropical cyclones than any other weather hazard. I don't know if this has surpassed that right now. I don't know. Let's see the North Carolina. Yeah. No, this is, let me see. Take protective measures. This is what you need to do. Make plans to secure your property. Permanent storm shutters. If you got a hurricane, I'm sorry, as you've seen, when the hurricanes come, they come and there was nothing you could do. Your home got washed away, and if you did not evacuate, you're gonna get washed away too, along with the debris. And you don't want to be thinking, I'll just swim, I'll just float in my car. No, you're gonna get crushed by the debris. Is what's going to happen. It's just what it is. A hurricane. You got to have a radio. Do you got a radio or the TV for information? You do. You may have to even get out. Turn off your propane tanks. Avoid using the cell phone. Moor your boat. Ensure a supply of water for sanitary purposes. But what happens when you got to leave your home? You got to evacuate. All this thing is, it's for naught. It's for naught. I didn't fill it out. I didn't. I don't know why I did this. If a nuclear disaster is imminent. Oh, a dirty bomb. If only a dirty bomb attack, not vastly more devastating than nuclear weapon blast with fallout discussed, you can expect localized downwind contamination from the explosion and dispersed radioactive materials. If you are near enough to see or hear any local bomb blasts, assume that it includes radiological and chemical agents. You should move away from the blast area as quickly as possible. If the wind is blowing towards you from the direction of the blast, travel in a direction that is crosswise or perpendicular to the wind as you move away from the blast area. If possible, cover your face with a dust mask cloth to avoid inhaling potentially radioactive dust. Upon reaching a safe location, remove your outer clothing outside, shower as soon as possible, refer to the local news sources and additional instructions, sheltering or evacuation. Stay or go, you all. This Lord help us if we ever see a dirty bomb. You're liable to see a dirty bomb. If you know, I don't want to see a dirty bomb. I don't even want to live it. That radioactive stuff. You have to have around 6 feet or 6 inches of earth between you and something with a like a nuclear fallout or something. I don't know. You got to have water. You got to have food supply. The parts to rebuild the electric grid. Oh, thank you, Joe. It went to Ukraine. Yeah, everything went to Ukraine. You have to ask yourself, why did you? It feels like really that this country has been sold out. I'm just being honest. It feels like we've been sold out by the very officials that we elected to lead us, to protect us. I say elected, and that's exactly what I mean, just like that. Yeah, they sold out. You sold out your people. It's like stabbing somebody in the back, pretending to have their best interests at heart when you don't. You just played them all the time, played them, and waited for the very moment. A government that does nothing for its citizens is purposeless. Yeah, it's not right. I would encourage you to, if you got a backpack or something, or some kind of trash bag or some kind of container, put you something in it that you can grab and get out the door, because if you have to evacuate, you ain't going to have but a few minutes. You'd be lucky if you got 15 minutes. And you want to have something in there that would sustain you as you go and your family. So just think of yourself as having to go camping. What would you take? Yeah, you'd want some food, you want some water, maybe some candy, or you might want to also invest in like little seek and find books and stuff, crossword puzzles, coloring books, something for your children if you got little children, because you may not have any electricity for your cell phones. You may not have none of that kind of stuff. Come on. Thank you, Applebrooks, honey. Now, see, they don't, you got that type of people out here. Just try to have something that you can grab, a grab-and-go bag, extra clothing and stuff. And it's hard, it's kind of stressful putting it together. It is, because you wonder, well, what can I put together? Just something. It's better than nothing. It truly is. No, something is better than nothing. The radiation pills are cheap on Amazon, and the authorities don't know. They don't know. They don't. There was something that I read you could do. Well, this was for the pandemic. We're having some kind of triple dimic thing coming now, they said. A triple something is what you're having. Something triple. You would want some iodine. If you got pets, you want to have some extra food for pets. Listen to me. If you're the type of person and you got the money to get your pets some food, and you only buy enough to last through the week, and you only do that for yourself too, would you please put your pets before yourself then? Go buy some extra pet food for your pets so they don't run out of pet food, and buy some extra food for yourself if you can afford it. You don't forget about your pets. And you sitting there eating and they're starving to death. Don't do that, you all. And some water. And your children. Your children. Um, yeah. No, there's so many people. They're going through it, and there's nothing to go back to. Nothing. I would think maybe it would be nice to have a tent if that was if you didn't have a vehicle, you'd have to go on foot. You can't carry much on foot. You really can't. It would be like those movies you see where people just have to leave with just the clothes on their backs with no survival tools, nothing. Nothing to yeah. It can get ugly really fast. And that ugliness could come from people who, when they want to survive, they'll do all that they can to survive. And that means if other people are in their way, that's the ugly truth. It's the ugly truth. People get ugly. Some people get compassionate, but we don't want to live in that type of a world. Hopefully it'll never come to that type of a world. Hopefully right now we can learn from what is happening to a lot of other people to be more aware that we need to prepare, and hopefully we can realize that that could be us too. It could be us too, and how would we react? It's like, no. Watch out for the desperate strangers. The world is flooded or it's on fire. I know there's something on here I saw. I don't know what it was. It was something about that Provident iodine. If you couldn't get any, whatever it was, radiation pills, you could take the Provident iodine, that little stuff they put on your wounds, and put like a 1-inch thing across your abdomen. And since your skin's your largest organ, it could absorb the iodine in it for you. Yeah. Is it iodine? Yeah. You have an open fire ban here in Kentucky. Wow. It's, yeah. This is Armageddon, y'all. You battle. It's like that song. I forget who sings it. This is what we came for, the Great Tribulation. I don't agree. I don't remember agreeing to come here for the Great Tribulation. I didn't sign up for that. Did you sign up for that? No. Yeah. Cell phones have not been working. They're getting some Starlinks to some places in Tennessee and North Carolina. Yeah. We can say a prayer for everyone right now. Gracious Heavenly Father, may you be with each and every person who are out there, who have lost their homes, who've been displaced, who may be staying with others, and those who are worried about their future. I pray right now, may you just give them comfort, bring comfort to their hearts, and just keep your hand over their families and them and everyone who's helping. May you keep everybody safe, and just may you put a hedge of protection around a lot of people who are out there. And just may you be with all of us, because it could be us too. And just may you just give us the wisdom, the strength, and the guidance to know what to do, and to not panic, but to be prepared. In the name of precious Jesus, amen. Yeah, it's true. You'll keep on going. You got to keep on going. You truly got to keep on going. You can't give up. And it may get really rough. It'd be nice to have a bicycle, but that bicycle ain't going to do you no good. In the flood waters, it's not. And your car probably wouldn't do you much good if all the gas stations are out of gas or the gas stations flooded. if your car's on empty, you're not going to get very far. You're not. Most people don't let a lot of people that I know will not let their car tanks get below a half a tank of gas. Just for that mere reason, they don't want to get stranded. And even if you are evacuating and everybody else is evacuating at the same time, you're in a big traffic jam. And what happens if you got to go to the bathroom? Do you got a way to go to the bathroom? Do your children got a way to go to the bathroom? You got to think something in the car for the children to use, some kind of privacy or something, because you're going to have to go to the bathroom. You got to think about that too. You do. It's, you can be sitting in traffic 6 hours, 7 hours, having to turn your car off. Can you imagine how traumatizing it is for the kids? Something like this will literally traumatize them, though they won't forget it. They will not. There's a verse I like and I've always remembered. It's one of my favorites. I've never saw the righteous forsaken, nor their seed begging for bread. It's one of my favorite ones. Never seen it. That's what it says. I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor their seed begging for bread. You may say, I don't believe in that. Well, I wholeheartedly believe in that. Yeah. You say, Gina, you never had it rough. I did have it rough. I grew up in poverty, extreme poverty. And when I got married and was pregnant, we didn't have no money. I remember just having to eat, pregnant and just eating a can of green beans. And that's when my husband was in the military. There was no assistance for the families. There wasn't. A can of green beans, I remember eating that. We got so low on money. But we survived. We made it. And some ramen. And I'm not the only one. A whole lot of other people. You do what you can to survive. And we'd only have a few cents. We got below $1 in our checking. And it had to last till his next paycheck in the military. Yeah. The roads are gone, and many places cannot be reached. They can be reached by air only. I saw where some roads aren't going to be open until September of 2025 in certain areas. And there's people who are going to be stuck in their homes, and if they got a home high up on the mountains, maybe they, someone said, long time ago, I remember someone saying that you wanted to get at least 800 feet above sea level because of floodwaters. Yeah. No, it was so different back then. It really was so different. By the time they approved, we applied for help, but by the time they came through, my husband was restationed. They didn't help us. They didn't help us at all. They didn't have it all together. They didn't. Yeah. Yeah, the harp. Oh, thank you, Buzz. When there's nothing to go back to, some people have nothing. A lot of people have absolutely nothing to go back to. They find themselves in a totally different environment, a totally different place, around some total strangers, but I'm sure that they're making friends very fast because that's all they have, and they're becoming there's the bond is growing. Rest assured, a lot of people are forming bonds and they're sticking together because when everything falls apart, that's all you got is each other. You got God, but you got to have some physical people around too. It makes all the world a difference to help comfort one another and, help talk through what you've been going through and your concerns. It makes the world a difference to be able to talk about it. And there's lots of, there's lots of help that's out there. They bring in guidance counselors and stuff, and they try to give you the solution to your problem. But that doesn't really, you need to talk about the real issues. You really do. People are hurting. Oh, there's 117 up there. People are hurting. They're afraid. A lot of people are afraid of the future. And when you're older, I'm sure, and you have nobody, that's scary. It's really scary. And I'm sure there's children are displaced without their parents. You may have some people who had, I don't know, they're separated. Um, Old worldwide owner, you wouldn't read any of what BS. Yeah, there's a lot of good information out there that is valuable for people, and there is a lot of information that is not valuable, but it's good to get that information that's valuable so that you can learn. Everything's not always bad. And your attitude will determine a whole lot of things. It can make you not fare too well. You got a bad attitude, you're going to make other people miserable, especially if you're around other people and you got that bad attitude. That's the last thing you want to do, to exasperate an already stressful situation with your attitude. You make it even worse. You really do. When people are so stressed out, have you ever been around somebody you're already stressed out and they got a bad attitude and you're trying to cope, and I'm sure a lot of people are going through that too, and you got somebody fit throwing and raving and blaming somebody, it's beyond, it's past that. It's already happened. It doesn't matter how it happened now. It's a real world event and people are suffering. It doesn't matter if it was HARP. It doesn't matter if it was the government. It doesn't matter if it's a foreign enemy now. What matters right now is the immediate thing that's happening, and it's the people. That's the immediate concern. What are we going to do for the people? How can we be there for people? How can we be there for each other? That's what you got to focus on. You got to take care of each other first. You do. You can't sit there and thinking, well, they did this and they did that. You're wasting your energy. You are. You're wasting your energy when you dwell on that. You got to go into the survival mode. You got to go into the love and compassion mode. You got to go into the helping mode. You really do. Because all that other stuff, there's nothing you can do about it. It's already happened. You can be aware of it. You can. You just got to come together. You're going to have to come together, and doesn't matter how the storm happened, because people got hurt. And now you got to take care of the people. You truly do. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Whether it was HARP or whether it was, now the people are the one who pay the price. It's like somebody getting hit by a car on purpose, and they're laying in the road, and you're sitting there talking and say, well, this person did that, and meanwhile the person's in the road bleeding to death because you're too concerned, and you're too concerned talking about how it happened. They did it on purpose, while the person sits there and bleeds to death when you could have saved a life. That's what you can liken it to. You could be saving lives instead of focusing on a human life is more important. Truly is. Some may not think so. And there are some who will not lift a finger to help anyone else. I just want to tell you right now. But they would expect you to lift a finger and help them. You're going to have all sorts of mindsets, and it will drive you up a wall. And if you're not even a calm and collect person, you get some wild mindsets, and you think you got it all together, and you get people like that, you're thinking, oh my gosh, you're pushing me to the limit. Really. Yeah. You got to have some respect in here. Yes, nobody reread that. Y'all know the people when you don't have nothing to go back to. That could be you. That could be me. It could when there's nothing to go back to. And all you got is the clothes on your back. Even what you have will be taken from you. That's what it says. Even what you do have will be taken from you. It just popped in my head. I saw they not letting the Blessing trailer give out water in North Carolina. They stop it lately. And I saw this short video of this guy and his son who had a helicopter. And the guy was trained, military, pilot, firefighter, and everything. And he was rescuing people, and he took his son as a co-pilot. And they went back and they saw that their cell phones started lighting up on social media. And they went back and they were going to rescue this man, this old man and woman. And he left his son on the mountain, put the woman in a helicopter, and went to land. And the fire chief of that town said, if you go back up there, you're going to get arrested. You're interfering with my mission. And of course, the guy let the lady out, but he went up there and he got his son. And then he left. If he knew if he went back and got that man, they were going to arrest him. It was a slap in the face. And the person was insinuating that they're probably trying to hide the true nature of what's happening. Yeah. Threatened with arrest is what it was. Yeah. Yeah, the chief should be arrested if you're going to do that. You would think that you'd want all the help you could get. But if you don't have that love and compassion within you, and you've been given orders not to whatever, allow any help, you're going to have some common sense. You are. FEMA has the right. Well, FEMA is in control in a national emergency. All control goes to FEMA to run the United States. Who was it that created it? Was it George Bush? Created FEMA. Federal Emergency Management, and the Coast Guard is underneath them. Yeah. Land of confusion is Babylon the Great. It's the whole world. The whole world. But some people may not think it's the whole world, but it truly is. There's things happening in the whole entire world. Yeah. The lithium company. The Appalachian Granny is Piedmont. The lithium company was recently approved. There's this lady, I think her name is the Appalachian Woman. I forget her name. And she does videos on, stocking up and stuff. She lives on a farm, trying to get people up to date about what's happened. And I think she lived in the Appalachians. And I don't know what happened to her. And she got threats and stuff like that. I was watching her. It's been like a couple years ago. And I thought, that same woman's face I seen on other YouTube channels. And I thought, is that the same person's face? I did. Tracy. Yeah, thank you. There's a lot of truth out there. It is what it is. There's nothing to go back to. There isn't. And the damage is done. The hurt is there. People need to heal. It's going to take a long time to heal. But it's got to start somewhere. It truly does. It's got to start with you. It's got to start with me. We got to heal so that we become stronger. Heal within our spirits. You got to be strong to face what's coming and to be there for others. So you got to just got to have some healing. You really do. Those type of storms are it's like those pop-up storms that pop up anywhere and everywhere. They don't even know anymore. The prediction models don't work because they just like poof and they're here. Yeah. The admittance of rather Celeste Patton, you're still stuck. Are you in the severe weather area where the destruction happened? Yeah, it's best. People need someone to talk to. They really do. You don't need a counselor to sit there and how you feeling. Well, let's do this and let's do that. No, no, no. You need a one-on-one. You need a personable. Oh, yeah. All the fires. All the fires. Yeah. Um, the YouTube channel caught the thin air, caught it on a video. My nose is really tickling. Oh my goodness gracious, when you'd have nothing to go back to. There's nothing. You escape with the clothes on your back, and the woman had her child and the clothes on her back. Just barely anything, that whatever she could throw in her car. I don't know where they went. I hope they had family or friends, good friends that they could go to. Yeah, that's right. Prayer is it's an essential part of people's lives. It is. Prayer and meditation. It helps ground you. It does. Yeah, I seen they had an X9 solar flare, back-to-back solar flares. I read something one time at the KP indexes. If they were all up in that B. Hendricks, if there were 3 KP indexes really high, back-to-back, it could cause a grid down scenario, is what it could cause. It's been so many years since I studied all of that. I don't know what the KP index is right now. The number has to be high. It truly does. Yeah. Hello, Laurel Ann. Yeah, so you gotta have a plan, and you gotta get yourself ready right now on the inside. You do, truly. You don't want to stress out because you know something's coming. You can literally sense something else is coming, and you don't want to be caught out guard to where you panic in a not good way, and you stress and you scream and you holler and you stress everybody else out in an already stressful situation. You might need to sit down with your children too. And you do. It's very important. If you have children, sit down with your children and tell them what's happening. If this has happened to you with the hurricane and you're displaced, you got to have a sit down. Don't just set your child in front of a video game and let them play the video. No, talk to them. Talk to your child and include them in on what's happened in a way that's okay to tell a child. Don't leave them out in the dark. Do not do it because they deserve to know if they're able. And you can let them know that, there's some bad things have happened, but we're going to get through it. Just no need to worry. We're going to make it. And you got to encourage your child. You may have children who are really scared. Encourage them, or a spouse, or older parents, or something, or friends. You got to calm them. You got to be able to calm them down and have them have some hope on the inside. They got to have something to look forward to. They truly do. They got to have some kind of hope. You see, they got to have a Jesus on the inside. They got to have God. Well, they got to have love. And if you're near them, they need your support. They need your love. You can be that to them. You can. You can be that example. You can be that physical comfort that they need. Just your mere presence of being around them. It'll make the world a difference. It will. You can be that pillar. You can be that tower. You can be that lighthouse. You can be that great beacon of light on the stormy seas of life. Don't ask to be that great beacon of light on the stormy seas of life, because if you truly, truly mean it, you're going to go through some major storms in your life to make sure you will be able to withstand the stormy seas of life and be that beacon of light. Yeah. The bridge builders, that's right. We need bridge builders. We need people who can cross those barriers of communication. There's really good people who have a really good gift of speaking with others and comforting them. And then there's others who want to speak to others because they got a lot to say and they want to help people, but they don't have that frequency to comfort them. They don't, because they get all excited. And they may not mean to, but yeah. Yeah. You can see the harp in this. Where is CERN? It's right, Al, honey. Yeah. I probably am going to go, but I wanted to come on here. I'm not going to do no election video. No, this is, the energy is so, it's a sad, heavy, heavy energy out there. It's heavy, not in an evil way, but it's a heavy in a emotional way, because there's sadness, there's sorrow, there's uncertainty, and that's the energy that's out there. Is what it is. Yeah, it is. Hello, Carol, honey. It's sad what's happening. I say one more prayer. Gracious Heavenly Father, may you be with each and every one of us and be with everyone who is in the aftermath and going through what has happened. Just be with their families, be with them, and just may you give them some comfort this day before it's ended. Give them a good night's sleep, and just keep your hand over them, and reassure their hearts that they're going to make it no matter what comes their way. It may be rough, but they're going to make it, and it's going to be all right. And it may be a different type of a life that they're used to right now, but they'll be able to make it as long as they put their trust in you, and as long as they have you by their side, and you're the hope within them, and they have each other. Just pray, may you reassure them, and may you keep your hand over all of us in the name of precious Jesus. Amen. Yeah, they refused help, is what they did. But that may be just one. It might be only a handful that is refusing help, because you know how the media is. They will exaggerate a situation and make it look like the whole entire people. When you can't use it as a blanket statement. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are accepting help, and the news likes to point out those ones that aren't, when probably the majority of the people who are getting help, but they're not going to tell you about them. Yeah. They placed the mummy in CERN. I heard about that before, really, the mummy, and placing it in something to bring it back to life or something. Yeah. uh, through her roof into her bedroom. Wow, she would have been. Wow, Larry. Wow. You believe you felt your prayers. Thank you. Oh, you're so welcome, Barbara. Yeah. If your heart's in the right place and your intention is true with the right frequency, it should be felt. It should be felt. Because there's power in prayer, there's power in love, there's power in compassion. There is. I'm going to go. Thank you all for being on here. Thank you, moderators. Thank you all for your comments. Please give the video a thumbs up, y'all. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. It is going to be all right. It is. Gina, are you sure? Yeah, it's going to be all right. Even though things may get very uncomfortable, as long as you don't give up, you'll make it. And as I'm not saying you won't get scared about an unknown future, but you'll make it. You will. Just don't give up. Don't lose hope. And you may have to be that hope for someone else. They may look to you for hope, and you wouldn't want to let them down. You wouldn't, because you know you're fully capable of being strong. Even though you may not want to be, you're fully capable, and you'll feel much better for it when you step up to the plate. You will. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Oh, you're welcome, Al Honey. We can do it. We can do it. We can. Yeah, the land of the warriors. Have a wonderful rest of your night. You all, love you.